So many women believe that men do not want commitment. I hear women all the time complaining or voicing their frustration that men don't want to commit, that they can't find men who are serious out here. Too many of these men are playing games. And I have to make clear to you that this is simply not true. Now, listen, when I say it's not true, it's not to dismiss your experiences or any woman's experiences. I can agree that many women are coming across this issue. Many women are facing a struggle with finding commitment-minded men. However, it's not what it seems to be. Because in reality, a lot of men do want relationship, do want commitment, but it may not happen with you. And when I say it may not happen with you, it doesn't mean you can't receive it, but you have to understand what has to be in place to receive it from that specific man, or what's going to push that man or inspire that man to want to commit to you or to any woman. Now, let me start with a story real quick. And before I begin, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, all right? So let me give you this story. Several years ago, I knew a guy and we were on a trip together. He meets this woman and it was a group of us friends. We were all together. He meets this woman and everyone's like, yo, this might be it for him. Like, she was exactly what he likes, you know, her physical appearance and the way her personality, they got along amazingly well. And he seemed extremely happy with her. And so there was a lot of talk between our friends and him about him possibly committing to this woman. But he had just really started talking to her, so he wanted to take a little time. Fast forward a month later, and before I say fast forward, let me say, despite all this chatter, I sensed something was missing. That's just me, that's how I am, all right? But let me continue. So fast forward a month later, he ends up proceeding into a relationship with this woman. He continues to talk to her, continues to date. Things are going well. Now he gets into a relationship. And again, everyone's pushing this, this is the one. This is it. This is it for him. It's over. He's turning in his player card, right? So time continues, and now we're in month 3, let's say. And by month 3, we sit down and have a talk. And he's telling me how he really is into this woman. He can see a future with her. However, he's having conflicting desires of being in this relationship versus enjoying being single. He was really just starting to get a hang of enjoying his single life and reaping what some men might consider the benefits of being single, all right? And he was like, damn, this great woman came along. I didn't want to let her go because she's that awesome. But at the same time, I feel like I have one foot in the door, one foot out. And so I told him again, I said, listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I know everyone's been saying she's the one and this is it, and make it happen with her. But I genuinely feel like she's not the one for you. And for me, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The fact that he had this conflict of wanting to still be single was even more proof she wasn't the one. Now, let me explain something. It's not to say that just because a man falls in love with a woman or believes she's the one, that he'll never have a desire for another woman, that he'll never, and when I say desire, not that he wants to flat out leave his woman for another woman, but he's going to see other women he's attracted to, may have thoughts about. That's human, all right? And it can happen to women as well. But what I do believe is that when a man finds the one, he at least at that time believes or desires only her. When I say believes he can commit to just her. He at least has the mindset of, I don't need these other women, forget them. So when a man can't say that to me, that says to me something is off here. Something's not right. And again, it doesn't mean she isn't genuinely amazing, but there's some kind of disconnect. Anyways, let's continue forward. So now, the month after that, I get a call from him. They break up. Now, them breaking up wasn't simply about what me and him discussed. He added more to the story by saying she was very insecure. And those insecurities caused a lot of issues and back and forth in their situation. So that contributed to the breakup. Now, let me add this real quick. And I know some of y'all are going to really feel me on this. Sometimes we're quick to call people insecure, but when we take a deeper look, especially for women, there's an argument to be made that that woman's insecurity was a symptom of her spirit knowing this man was not fully all in. All right? A lot of you as women sense something's off, sense he's not completely there. Even though he's doing other great things, even though his words are nice, you're feeling something's not there, or again, he's not fully committed, but you want so desperately to hold on that you ignore this, or you try to overlook this. But in overlooking it, it still makes you nervous. It still starts to create insecurity. And that now starts to manifest into behaviors that can actually now wreak havoc. And now he gets to say, well, it's your insecurity that's the problem, rather than acknowledging the reality that he was never completely all in. But anyway, I digress. That's just a point I needed to make, but let's move on to the point of this story, all right? And so, again, they break up. I want to say like a month after that, this man meets another woman. And with this woman, they hit it off. And he seems to have that twinkle in his eye again, all right? But this time, it seems a little different. It seems a little bit more is there. To sum up this story, because I can go into a lot of details, I want to say 2 more months after that, this man is completely all in. When I ask him the question, well, how are you feeling about being single, living your sin? Oh, I ain't worried about that no more. I'm good. I'm done. I know this is where I want to be. And eventually he goes on to propose to this woman and become engaged to, get married. Now, why did I give you that story? One, here was a man that in woman A, people will say, oh, he has a fear of commitment, or these men don't know how to be serious, or this and that and the other. But then he got with woman B and committed like that. Woman B, no hesitation, no issue. And this is why I said to you in the very beginning of this video that it's not completely true when we say men don't want to commit. It's just that it's going to boil down to, are you and this man the right match? And I want to stress the right match, not are you a good woman? Because woman A in that story was a great woman. He never would say anything, other than the insecurity issue, he did not say this woman lacked great qualities. It just wasn't there. So now let me break down for you what a man typically needs to commit. And I want to give this from the angle of genuine commitment, not just holding on to women because you provide a certain benefit they don't want to let go of and that man's going to use you. All right? So genuine commit. So number one is he needs to have peace. So when I say he needs to have peace, there's 2 ways we can look at this. There is peace about him being confident that this is where he wants to be. As I gave you the example with the story, he did not have peace with girl A. He wanted her, he was feeling her, there was a lot of desire there, but he did not have peace about being in a committed relationship with her. Woman B, he had that peace. And so that allowed him to confidently move forward with her. But then it's also peace from the angle of what the woman provides and brings to his life. And I have to stress that this becomes so much more crucial when you're dealing with a man who has a lot going on in his life or just has stuff going for him, or is a man who's driven, ambitious, trying to make things happen, who's trying to be a good, strong leader in a relationship, because that guy is encountering various forms of chaos, stress, feeling overwhelmed, whatever in life around him. Because that's just the way life is. And hell, you as a woman, depending on what you're doing or engaging in or how ambitious you are, you're encountering some of the same things. And so you should know that nobody wants to have to leave that to come home to stress. No one wants to have to leave that to then deal with a partner who does not provide a sanctuary of love and peace. And so for a man, and I feel the need to say this, especially a man with options. I know a lot of women don't like hearing this men having options thing, all right? But it's true, especially for a man who has options. He needs that woman he's gonna commit to be a getaway from all the stress and anguish of life and to provide love, peace, and a lot of other great things we're gonna mention. So peace is a huge, a huge piece of the puzzle for him to want to commit to a woman. Now let's get to number 2. And number 2 is a man needs unique value. Now that's a term I kind of just came up with. And when I say came up with, because I haven't heard anyone phrase it that way. But all it simply means is that he has to view you as different from the rest. You have to present a value that he doesn't feel like he gets from other women. Now, this isn't about you trying to, again, make yourself something you're not to become that unique value. No, by simply embracing the things that men need in general can basically separate you from the pack. Because I think what a lot of women do not understand, let me say it like this. A lot of women believe that there's tons of great wife material women just all over that men just won't choose from. All right? And it's like, yo, if you sit down and talk to men, they're not getting the qualities they need and desire from a lot of women they meet. All right? They might get a little something here, a little something there, but they're not getting the full package or a strong enough package from one woman. But when one woman does come with that, she immediately separates herself from the pack. Even if, as the example in the story, she's a great woman, she does separate from the pack, but there was still something missing. And I'll tell you what that other thing missing is. Put a pin in that. But still, you still just on that first level separate yourself from everybody else because you're bringing forth so many great qualities that a lot of women are not exuding and showing while dating men and while living their life in general, all right? So that unique value is just being your best you. Just focus on that. Focus on, am I where I need to be? Am I healed? Am I walking in a loving, positive energy? Am I walking in my femininity? Like, these are the things that will magnify and bring out that quote-unquote unique value, all right? But again, please understand that even at your best, you won't be every man's unique value, or you won't be every man's, you won't be what every man essentially wants to, at the end of the day, commit to. You're not for everybody, and that's fine. Everybody ain't for you either. But you got to focus on being your best. And yes, that unique value, that when he can say, damn, she's not like the rest, that's when this man's like, all right, I got to lock this down. Now his willingness to commit just went up big time because he doesn't feel like I can get this anywhere. This is unique here. This is different from everybody else. So I got to do something about this before I miss out on it. So now let's keep this going to number 3. But before I tell you number 3, listen, if you want to get to your best version, the best version of yourself, you want to heal, you want to find your purpose, you want to exude that feminine energy, you want to start meeting more serious-minded men, then join my membership program. Click the link in the description or in the comments section, or go to receivingmyblessings.com. It is a coaching membership program that has helped thousands of women. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. It's going to help you achieve a higher quality of life. It ain't just about meeting a great man and a great partner is going to be a part of the process, but that's not just the focal point. It's about you and your happiness and all that will come from that as well. So again, click the link in the description or the comment section, or go to receivingmyblessings.com. So again, number 3 is he needs to have connection. Now, I usually leave the connection part to the end, but I'm going to throw it in the middle real quick, all right? And let me say this. I'm going to be very honest. A lot of men don't fully understand connection. So I have to admit that there are plenty of men who will commit without connection. I want to be clear about that. But I do think that there are men who either once they have experienced that connection before, or they're just more in tune spiritually, they have a greater understanding of it. It becomes a greater priority because they know this is a piece of the puzzle. And so, and for some men, they may not be able to explain it and articulate it, but they still understand it at their core. So going back to the story, she was a great woman. There wasn't anything quote unquote wrong with her, but that deeper, true connection was not there. It was kind of like everything on the surface was amazing. The resume looks great, right? But do y'all really get each other? Are y'all really on the same page? Can y'all truly be yourselves with each other? You know, do you two truly inspire each other and make each other better? You know, these are the things or the ingredients that help you understand that a connection is here. And also understand that, listen, and this is what I have studied and learned, and I truly believe. Connection is not created nor destroyed. It's either there or it's not. And so what you find with people who can say they have experienced a connection is that it is pretty much instant. It is a very fast, it's intense, it hits you right off the bat. It doesn't take you months before you're like, oh, wait a minute, I think we got a connection now. No, like that thing is gonna slap really fast. Now, you may not fully understand, you may not know what to make of all this, but you will feel it. And again, when you sit down and interview or survey people, they can tell you, even if they weren't able to say verbally after the first week or first few days, this was a connection, they can tell you, man, I felt something here that I had not felt with anyone else. It's that deep, all right? And so, yes, I do believe that even though there are men committing without connection, that it is connection that will like seal the deal. Like if a man feels a true, genuine connection with a woman, it's definitely going to draw him in. And it plays into also that unique value because again, it's that I have not felt that with anyone else. I'm getting something from her I get from no one else. She possesses that unique value. And because it's unique, I want to hold on to it. I'm prepared to lock it down, whatever you want to call it, because I do not want to let this go. Now we're on number 4. And the fourth thing that makes a man commit to a woman is physical attraction. I'm laughing because I know a lot of people, they don't like the emphasis or the too much light being put on physical attraction. And everyone wants to, not everyone, but a lot of people want to go to what's on the inside that counts. And yes, you're right. What's on the inside is what counts. It's what matters most. But we can't act like that's the only thing that matters. What is on the inside, outside, plays a role as well. For men and women, attraction is a huge part of it. And yes, whether it's fair or not, whether it should be this way or not, the reality is that when you see men sometimes hesitate to commit to one woman, but be more willing to commit to the next woman, a lot of times the difference is how much more he's attracted to the other woman. Plain and simple. Even though he may see a level of value in one woman and want to kick it with her, want to have sex with her, he may not feel like he's attracted enough to want to commit to her. Now that might sound weird, but again, let's go on an even lower level, so to speak. There are men, there's a level of attraction for some men that may qualify you for that man to want to sleep with you, but not for him to view you as a potential wife. That sounds harsh, it kind of is, but again, I'm giving you honesty here, all right? And I'm just telling you what it is. And so, again, this is one of those things where I don't want you as a woman to now beat yourself up or to try to look like other women on the internet. That's not the goal here. I do want you to make sure you're tapping into your best self, as I said earlier. I do want you to make sure you like what you see in the mirror. Genuinely Genuinely, not you're just talking that talk. There's a lot of people just talking that talk, trying to act like they're good when deep inside they're not happy with themselves. I don't want you to be faking it. I mean, granted, I want you to focus on positive thinking and I want you to give yourself positive, loving affirmations, but I want you to work on the things that you can control. I do want you to improve in the areas that you can't improve upon. And yes, that includes how you're presenting yourself to the world, how you are showing up. And understand that it's not just for the sake of men and men finding you attractive or men wanting to commit to you. It's also about how you feel. It's about you feeling better. It's about you being more confident. It's about your quality of life going up in various ways because you're starting to take better care of yourself in a way that transforms you on all levels, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of it. So yes, pay attention to that. But getting back to the original point, physical attraction does play a role in a man's willingness to commit to a woman. All right, so next on this list is loyalty. Loyalty is what makes a man want to commit to a woman. Listen, men typically don't want to feel like the woman they're with is for everybody. Bottom line, all right? There is a level of wanting to know you have my back and my back only, and that I can count on you being here even when times are tough. Now listen, when I say when times are tough, this is not to make you think you should stick by a man who treats you like crap. It's to not make you think that you should accept a man who doesn't make an effort to move past the storm. So what I mean by that is, I'll give one small example. You're with a man, he's love you, everything is great. He loses his job, all right? And that happens. Life hits. It was out of his control that he lost his job. So yes, the man wants to know that when a tough time like that comes, you're not going to simply abandon him. But on the flip side, if this man thinks he now gets to sit his behind on the couch and do nothing, not look for work, not help more around the house, not find any way to still be an asset in this relationship and alleviate you of some kind of burdens, then you don't have to subject yourself to that. Being loyal to him does not mean accepting him being mediocre or not accepting him not being the man he needs to be. At least putting forth the effort to being that man. That still has to be there, all right? But yes, men value loyalty. They want to see that in their woman. They want to believe you are for them. And so that's what's going to make a man consider to commit. Because I've seen men who have met women who they view this woman as high quality, but they feel like she would not have my back in tough times. And because of that, I can't be with this woman. They still want to sleep with her. That's a whole different thing, all right? That's a whole different discussion. But he's unwilling to commit because he just does not believe that she is a loyal person at all. And yeah, I'm thinking about somebody specific right now, but I've seen this happen tons of times. Number 6 is embracing and pouring into his needs and desires, all right? A lot of relationships, or the relationship dynamic for a long time, has been presented as the man courting the woman, the man, proving himself to the woman. And of course, I'm not in any way saying that doesn't play a role or there isn't some level of that still has to happen. However, for a man to want to commit, if it's all about what he can do for you rather than what you can do for him, then what the hell is he going to commit to you for? There's no reason for him. And again, I have to say, especially a man who has options, to feel like he has to choose the woman who's unwilling to embrace what he needs as well. All right? He wants to know that you care about what he cares about, that you respect and honor what is important to him as well, that you are willing to embrace those things. Now, granted, I'm going to be real. We've seen plenty of men and get so caught up in wanting a specific woman that they've lost sight of the fact that she does not do those things for him. And so you'll see these relationships where it's the man doing a lot for this woman and that woman does not fulfill his needs. But don't allow that to make you think that that is a formula for success or that in any way is what makes a man commit. What's gonna make a man embrace a woman in most cases is knowing that she is willing to pour into my needs and desires too. That she is there for me as much as I need to be there for her. That's what's important. So you've got to be understanding of that, but you've also got to be honest about, are you genuinely able and willing to pour into his specific needs and desires? And what allows you to figure that out is, one, having open communication about what the hell those things are, okay? Let's not assume, let's not just think it's the basic men need. No, listen, some men are different, and what they're looking for specifically is going to differ from what the next man is looking for. You need to make an attempt to try to learn what's important to him. And then once he conveys that to you, you got to be real with yourself. Can I handle doing these things for him? Can I sustain doing these things for him? Because it's one thing to do it for him for a week, for a couple months. No, can you continuously be the woman he is looking for the rest of your damn life? For the next several years. Actually, this is focused on the rest of your life, because if the goal is marriage, you got to really think long term, like, yo, are these things doable things for me? If not, then hey, let's just accept we're not for each other and keep it moving. Let's not force the issue, because that's only a recipe for disaster every single time. And now number 7, and after I give you the 7th one, I just want to give you 3 quick principles you need to always remember in this whole dynamic of desiring commitment from a man, all right? But let's focus on number 7 real quick, and that is a woman who is supportive and encouraging, all right? So again, it's one thing to feel like you have my back, but do you believe in me? Do you support me? Do you encourage me? Or are you just negative and pessimistic? Or are you always shooting down my dreams and ideas? Are you constantly undermining my perception and thoughts and beliefs and my input and dismissing and devaluing it? And some of you have to understand, I'm not saying you do it, but a lot of women have done that. A lot of women are doing that to men and then wondering why this is going nowhere. And it's not to say that if you genuinely do not agree with this man, or you genuinely don't believe in him because maybe he just hasn't given you enough to believe in, all right, that happens. I don't want you to force yourself, to fake believe in him, so to speak. Just accept it as evidence that you two are not for each other. But you do have to understand that that piece has to be there if we want commitment and if we want healthy, successful relationships. And you also have to understand, is your struggle to be supportive and encouraging and believing in him really about what he's not bringing to the table? Or is it about the baggage you're bringing to the table? Is it about the fact that the last time you felt you were supportive and encouraging and believing in a man, he let you down? Is it the fact that you've seen too many men or too many women be mistreated and be let down and seeing men fail them in so many ways that now you struggle to give men that kind of trust, to give that level of vulnerability in a relationship? You got to be real with yourself. Is the issue within you or the type of men that you are coming across? And if it is within you, correct that first and foremost. Make sure you are truly able to give that part of you to the man who, yes, comes correct and is someone that can and should be encouraged and supported if he's the right guy for you. Now, those are the things that definitely contribute to a man wanting to commit to a woman and commit to a relationship. And again, that sets up healthy, successful relationships. But let me run down 3 quick principles that I do think as a woman you still need to be mindful of if you're desiring to have commitment and serious relationship in your life. Number 1, there needs to be a deadline. Now listen, I know some of y'all do not like that or don't like the word ultimatum. And I'm not saying you need to say to this man, hey, if you don't commit to me by this and this date, we're done. What I am saying is you internally have to have a line drawn that if we reach this point and you are still unable to commit, I'm no longer going to entertain this situation. I am prepared to walk away. You got to go in prepared that if this man cannot step up to the plate, you will let go. Too many women, because they don't have that internal deadline, allow the situation to drag on way longer than it should. And now the man who never planned on committing to you gets to stay in your life, wreak havoc, drain you of all your energy, cause all kinds of damage, and leave you unhappy and burnt out. This can't happen. This should not happen. And for us to avoid this happening, you've got to have some level of internal deadline. And so just to give you something to work with, when you can say, and honestly, we've spent time getting to know each other, I've showed him who I am, he knows what I want, he knows where I stand. All right, at that point, what the hell are we waiting for? At that point, if he can't make up his mind, and I'm not saying you have to shut the door on him forever, I'm just saying, why are you going to continue engaging in this pseudo relationship when he's clearly either not ready, not willing, or whatever is going on? It's just not happening. So have a deadline. The second principle that you need to always remember, and this is going to sound a little funny, you can give a taste, but not the whole meal. Now listen, when I say a taste and not the whole meal, I'm not talking sex, all right? I'm not talking about getting it on. What I am saying is I see a lot of women sometimes doing quote unquote too much in the dating phase, trying to prove themselves. Basically giving him wife benefits when y'all are still dating. And to make it simpler, what I'm saying to you is that it's one thing to one day cook him a meal. It's another thing for that joker to be eating at your house every week while y'all still getting to know each other, or whatever the case may be. Like you don't have to keep doing so much. Yes, you have to show that you possess certain qualities. All right. And you can show that in ways that don't actually mean, like, you don't have to directly cook him a meal to show him you know how to cook and that you're domesticated in that way if that's a value that you want to convey. So understand that you can, again, give that quote unquote taste without just doing it all and constantly doing it, and then finding yourselves in situations where now you're getting used and actually working against yourself to commit, because it's almost like you're giving someone the full paycheck at work and you haven't even hired them yet. He didn't even say if he wants the job, okay? And you're straight sending him full-time paychecks. Like, that's, at that point, why would he even say, I want to commit to this job? I don't have to. I'm getting all the benefits anyway. So that only shoots yourself in the foot when you do so much. So be careful with that dynamic, all right? And then the last principle to remember is there needs to always be a mutual effort. I kind of alluded to it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. If you want a man to commit, if you want serious relationship, it can't simply be about what this man does for you. No man who's genuine and serious about relationships, serious about you, is going to be happy with him always being the one making forth the effort and you just sitting back and seeing what's going on. You got to be a part of the process. You got to show a mutual desire, a mutual effort. You have to reciprocate. So be sure that you are giving as much as you're requiring from him in that way, so that he feels like you are as invested in him as he is in you, that you like him as much as he likes you. When that happens, yes, his willingness to commit just went up another few notches. And again, it will set the stage for a healthier, happier, more successful relationship. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,